On the cheap, a special report into a low-wage industry.
And can they make it 3 scalps in a row? We go live to the home of York's giant killers. And jumping out of trouble, how children in need sorted it out.
Now, while some of us are fortunate enough to have jobs we enjoy, some just scrape a living. With unemployment on the way down, some are finding work for the first time, but it's not always what they expect. New evidence suggests a growing number of people are earning less than £3 an hour. So for tonight's special report, our industry correspondent Len Tingle has been out on patrol with those seeking security.
The night security shift on a Leeds City Council car park isn't for the faint-hearted. But this security guard is hardly being paid danger money. His hourly rate is £3.10 an hour.
For the kind of wages they're paying, it's ridiculous. Last week my wages were, for 34 hours I worked, I ended up with £102, for working 34 hours, which is crazy,
But the local authority, the owners of the car parks, aren't setting the wage rates. One of the world's largest private employment agencies won a competitive bid to provide part-time security night guards.
The contracts vary. Again, the contracts are dictated by market rate. Of course, if we're in a position where we're not able to attract labour, then we're not able to service the needs of our customers. If we're not in a position where we're able to attract quality labour, then of course we're not going to be able to recruit, we're not going to be able to offer any service whatsoever, and obviously we're not then in a position where we can take our business forwards.
It's 1996 and the minimum wage is very much
a familiar downward wages spiral for the trade union-sponsored pressure group, the Yorkshire and Humberside Low Pay Unit. This week it marked its 10th anniversary, and in a decade of monitoring pay, it says the proportion of what it considers to be unfairly paid workers has grown.
It's certainly not an exception in that industry, and if you look at other industries as well, in Yorkshire and Humberside alone last year, something like 100,000 workers were earning less than £3 an hour. So we're talking about a very deep problem, some going down to something like £1 an hour, but also an awful lot of people on very low pay.
But pay is just one issue. Conditions of employment can hit the pockets of the poorest workers even further.
They don't have to pay me a pension, they don't have to pay me they're not paying out any holiday money, national insurance contributions. I mean, I had to pay for my whole uniform. I had to go out and get my shoes, my trousers. It cost me £30. Well, I've just finished my shift at Chapeltown, probably the worst site that we've got to cover. Chapeltown is a violent area, and they supply us with this body armour. This is in case the place is robbed, in case we get shot at or stabbed. All this for £3.10 an hour.
Leeds City Council says it can't demand the levels of pay and conditions for individual workers on the small amount of security work it contracts out to agencies. That would be against competition laws.
We're not allowed to discuss either whether the wage rate, terms and conditions, holidays, or any of those matters we're not allowed to even ask about. That's something that is not of our consideration when we're tendering work externally.
If people will not work for £2 an hour, then there's no point advertising £2 an hour. If they will work for £3 an hour, you can recruit labour at £3 an hour.
It's a popular economic argument which cuts the costs, but there's a question mark over who's paying the price.
Len Tingle patrolling the front line, and next Tuesday we'll go behind another of the region's big stories.
Well, it's a big story for tonight for the footballers.